Good morning, honeybees. This is Alyssa with Twin Cup Tarot, and I have something new for you guys today. All right, so some of you might be shopping online, researching tarot and oracle decks, but you're having a hard time narrowing it down. Sometimes $25, it's an expensive purchase, and you don't want to spend that on something you aren't sure on. Okay, so what I thought it would be good to do is actually do a flip through video of each one of my decks. So at least the decks that I own, you guys get a full picture of them. And any new decks I'll do an unboxing as well. But I figured this would be kind of fun. Even if you don't want a tarot deck of your own, this is a good way for you at least to see all the cards that I'm working with. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. So the deck that we're going to be featuring in this video is the Rider-Waite tarot deck. It is also known as the Smith-Waite, the Waite-Smith, the Rider-Waite-Smith, and the Rider deck. And the reason it has so many different names is it was inspired by the ideas of A.E. Waite, and it was illustrated by Pamela Coleman Smith, and it was published by the Rider Company. Okay, so that's why it has so many different names. But any of those names that you hear in any combination, it's talking about the same deck. And it was published in 1910. It's one of the oldest widely recognized tarot decks, and it's actually one of the most popular. This actually was my first deck, and it was gifted to me. So I don't have the original box. I don't know if it originally came with a book, but you'll find that if you do some research on this specific deck, there's so many different adaptations, and most of them, as far as I know, come with books. And I would highly recommend a book explaining each card. Yeah, I would definitely recommend this deck as a great deck to start with if you just need a deck to learn the cards. All right, guys, let's get right into it. I'm going to do just a flip through for each card in order. Here we go. This is the perfect deck to start with, guys, because it forces you to learn the meaning of every card. Plus, the pictures are pretty straightforward. I think it's a great place to start if you were a new reader. And on a side note, this is one of the original decks that came out for the Rider-Waite. So, I mean, I've had it for years. One thing I will say is that they have lasted. I've used these cards so numerous amounts of times, and yet you don't really see fraying. So it's definitely high quality material that these cards are made out of. At least for this specific deck. On a side note, guys, I don't know if you can hear it, but my cat Max is snoring. On another note, guys, obviously it's specific to this actual deck, but they are one of the best, in my opinion, to shuffle with. I mean, it depends on your shuffling style. I like to kind of shuffle off the table and let cards fall out. For that style, this deck works perfectly. It feels very good in the hands. It's perfect size. So, I mean, this deck works out really well for me. And what I love is I love decks that are very pretty and creative and colorful, for sure. But what I love about these is, although they are, you know, visually appealing, there's not a ton going on in there's not a ton going on in most of the pictures. So it's pretty straightforward in the meaning when you look at it. But what I like about that is it leaves more room for interpretation. You can really look at these cards and kind of intuitively get more from them. So I do really like that about this deck too. All right, guys. Now that is the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Have a great day.